Alright guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to handle the validation. You can see I just added a bunch of empty books here and we don't want to be able to do that. We also want to set up the show alert prototype method so that we can show a little alert up here in certain situations. So let's start off by doing the validation. So we're going to go down to the bottom inside the event listener here, and we'll go right under where we created the UI. And let's say validate. So we'll say if, let's do if title is equal to nothing or author is equal to nothing or ISBN is equal to nothing. We'll test it out by let's test it out by just doing a regular alert. Okay, so if I go and I submit, we get failed. Good. It's still going to add because it's just doing the alert, nothing else. But what we're going to want to happen here, actually, first of all, let's put an else, and then we're going to grab these two lines and put those in here. All right, actually, it's more than two lines, but two methods. All right, so we don't want to use the stupid window alert. That's not very professional. We want to have an alert in the UI. So we're going to have, let's say, error alert, and we're going to say UI.showAlert. And it's going to take in two things, the message, which will be please fill in all fields, and then the class, which in this case will be error. Okay, now remember, in the index.html, we created the error CSS, which will have a background of red. It'll also have these properties. All right, so let's go back up here and let's create that prototype method. So I'm going to go right here above clear fields and say show alert. And it's going to be UI.prototype.showAlert. Okay, and again, it's going to take in a couple things. It's going to take in the message and the class name. All right, and then what we need to do is basically construct the element. So let's create a div. So we'll say const div equals document.createElement. The element we want to create is a div tag. Okay, we want to add the class name or add classes. So div.className is going to equal, I'm going to put in some backticks here, and we're going to say alert because I want them all to have a class of alert, but then also the class name that is passed in up here. Okay. Once we do that, we want to add the text. Now remember, to add text, we need to add a text node. So we're going to say div.appendChild, which will add something into it. And to create a text node, we need document.createTextNode. And then the actual text will be the message that's coming in from the function. Okay, so once we do that, we need to insert it into the DOM. So we're going to first of all get a parent, and we're going to use the container. So we're going to say const container equals document.querySelector container, and then after that we want to get the form because I want to put it before the form, so like right here. So let's say form equals, and let's see, we'll use document.querySelector again. That has an ID of add form. Is it at? No, it's book form. Okay. And then we want to take the container, which is the parent, and we want to say insert before and it takes in two things. One is going to be what we want to insert, which is going to be the div, the alert, and the second will be what we want to insert it before, which is the form. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And let's just say insert alert. Okay, so let's save that. Oh, one more thing we want to do is we want it to disappear after 3 seconds. So let's say timeout after 3 seconds. So we'll say set timeout, which is part of the window object, takes in a function. And in this function, we just want to say document.querySelector. We want to grab the class of alert, and we want to remove it. Okay, we want this to happen after 3 seconds. So the second parameter is the number of milliseconds, so 3000. So let's save. Let's try to submit without adding anything. Okay, nothing's happening. Let's preserve our log. Okay, go back to our console or close that up. UI.showAlert is not a function. So UI.prototype.showAlert. Let's go down here, see what's going on. So we use the capital UI, and we need to use this right here, the lowercase. That's what's happening. So let's try it again. And cannot read property insert before of null. Let's see what's going on there. So let's see, const container equals, oh, we forgot the dot in container. It's a class, so we need that. There we go. So it should disappear. Or not. Set timeout function, document.querySelector, alert.remove. Remove needs parentheses. Try it again. And there we go. So now it's working. Okay, clear that console. And now we have our validation and we have our show alert method. Now, one thing I want to do before we go is when we add a book, I also want to show the alert. So let's go down to where we did the add book to list. And we'll say UI.showAlert. We'll say book added, and we want the class to be success. So now if we go ahead and we add a book and submit, we get book added, gets added, and that disappears in 3 seconds. All right, cool. So in the next video, what I want to do is work on the delete. Okay, we want to be able to click this and delete a book from the UI.